Good evening. My name is Sam Tyler, and I'm the president of the Boston Municipal Research Bureau. I want to welcome you to the 2017 Henry L. Shattuck Public Service Celebration. The Shattuck Awards began in 1985, and since that time, including tonight, we have recognized 244 city employees for their exemplary and dedicated service to the city of Boston. In 1988, we created the Shattuck Chairman's Award to acknowledge a department head or prominent public official who demonstrated leadership, professionalism, and resolve. Also in 1988, we created the Shattuck City Champion Award to honor a business leader and a nonprofit leader for their contributions to the Boston community. And with tonight's recipients, we have installed 41 city leaders into the Academy of Shattuck City Champions. The names of all the past honorees are listed in your program. There are many people to thank tonight, including our sponsors, which will come a little later. I'd like to take the moment to thank Comcast for its partnership with the Shattuck Award over several years. Comcast is taping tonight's event, which will be available on demand shortly, and it has produced the short videos that you'll see later on each of the recipients. We're also grateful to the Boston Globe and the Boston Herald for 32 years in their coverage, which provides a broad public recognition of this year's recipients. At the Research Bureau, we see firsthand the commitment of and professionalism of the many city employees as they go above and beyond their work to provide quality service. That is why with our business and institutional sponsors, we come together tonight to applaud the exemplary service of the 9 city employees. Behind this award is the core belief that public service is an honorable profession and should be celebrated. We also greatly benefit by the active involvement of Boston's business and nonprofit leaders, and tonight we recognize the important contributions that a business leader and a nonprofit leader have made to the Boston community. The awards that are presented tonight are named in honor of Henry Lee Shattuck, one of the founders of the Research Bureau in 1932, and a business leader who also served for many years in public office, in the legislature, on the city council, usually as chair of the Ways and Means Committee. So Henry Shattuck personified the commitment to public service and the qualities we seek in the individuals we honor. A short bio of Henry Shattuck is included in your program. Since the focus tonight is really on this year's Shattuck Award recipients, we downplay acknowledgement usually given to prominent public officials, which we will do tonight. But I do want to recognize one special lady who's with us, and that's Angela Molino. Angela, thank you for being here. So it took a while to quiet the room, so I'm assuming you all are feeling the excitement in the room and what's coming in terms of the awards. So you should all be tweeting about this night, and make sure that when you are tweeting, you use hashtag Shattuck Awards. And with that, let me just say that it's now my pleasure to introduce Tom Samlock, who's the chairman of the Research Bureau, but also Vice President of Counsel, External Affairs and Investigative Services at John Hancock.
Thank you. Good evening and welcome. This is a great night every year. I love the Shattuck Awards night, and I think you'll hear the mayor does too. The Boston Municipal Research Bureau founding purpose is to help city government work effectively for all its citizens. And tonight, we recognize some of the exceptional people who make our city work every day, the faces of good government. You'll hear more about each of them after dinner, but I want to first personally thank them for the work they do every day to make Boston the vibrant and beautiful community that it is. Our award recipients this year have committed themselves to serving our children, our communities, our businesses, and the common good. I also want to recognize the people who make this evening possible. Bill Kennedy and Keith Motley, the co-chairs of this event, helped the committee members review many worthy applicants to find the most deserving ones. Not the easiest of tasks, given the number of incredible individuals who do such great work across the city. Other committee members who should be recognized include Anita Agajanian, Julie Burns, Larry DeCara, Tom Keaty, Keith Montgomery, Tim Murnane, Tara O'Donnell, and Marilyn Schwartz-Lloyd. I thank them for their excellent work and would appreciate a round of applause for the committee members. Thank you, Billy and Keith. And of course, this evening would not be possible without the support of our sponsors listed in the program. But I want to especially recognize our premier sponsors, some of our city's leading corporate citizens. Arlington Advisory Partners and State Street, they are our champion sponsors. My peers at John Hancock are our premier sponsor, and our patron sponsors are Beacon Capital Partners, Comcast, the Drew Company, the Drucker Company Ltd., and Liberty Mutual Insurance. Lastly, I want to thank our mayor, his department heads, and each of you for being here tonight to celebrate our awardees and share in their accomplishments. I know it means a lot to them to have all of you here. Before we break for dinner, please join me and my colleagues at the Research Bureau in congratulating our awardees and our city champions. They truly represent the best of Boston. Have a great night. Thank you.
Okay, now that we've got these preliminary remarks completed, I think it's time to welcome the reason we're all here, the 2017 Shattuck City Champion Chairman's Award and Shattuck Award recipients. So please welcome them.
Chief of Staff, Boston Planning and Development Agency. Sherry Lewis DuPont, Assistant Headmaster, Boston Latin School. Kerry Jordan, TV Operations and Technology Manager, Boston City Council. Martin Kane, Director of Training, Boston Election Department. Sergeant Gino Provenzano, Sergeant, Bureau of Field Services, Boston Police Department. Deborah Pullen, Director, Employee Information Systems, Boston School Department. Maria Santos, Procurement Manager, Boston Public Health Commission. Barry Stafford, Principal Fire Alarm Operator, Boston Fire Department. Chairman's Awardee, Henry Vitale, Executive Director, Boston Water and Sewer Commission. City Champions, Patricia Foley, President, Save the Harbor, Save the Bay. Jay Hooley, Chairman and Chief Executive Officer, State Street Corporation.
Just so there's no confusion, we're now breaking for dinner, and we'll come back in a little while with the awards program.
Good evening. Bill.
Thank you. Thank you all very much. Welcome to the 2017 Shattuck Awards dinner. My name is Bill Kennedy, the co-chairman of the dinner, and I'm pleased to share the chairmanship of this dinner with my friend Dr. Keith Motley. Keith, welcome.
Amen.
Keith, as you all know, is the former chancellor of the University of Massachusetts at Boston. And he did an outstanding job there. As chancellor, and really put that school on the map. It means so much to so many people. I know there's many graduates or students in the audience. And Keith, good luck and best wishes to all your future endeavors.
Well, thank you, man. You know that we're not finished yet. We got a lot of work to do together, and so thank you for tonight. But also, thank you for allowing me the opportunity to be your co-host again this year. I had an incredible time last year, and I'm so grateful to be able to have this opportunity. But Bill, can I do something first? Can we thank all of the people who have been serving us tonight and waiting on us? Now you all know, what so many of us know, that this hotel, the Seaport Hotel, second to none in terms of service and just feeling at home. And so welcome, and we're so glad that all of you are here.
Thank you, Keith. As Keith said, this is our second time doing this dinner together, and it's about my sixth, I believe, as chairman. And this is a special night for all of us. It's just so good for me to be involved with the Bureau and the committee that I work with to put this event together and to select the winners. I thank all of my friends. We've been together as a committee for 10 or 14 years now, and it's a lot of fun to be together. And I congratulate all of the Shattuck Award winners, congratulate the mayor, and it's just a good and a wonderful and a rare celebration of everything good that is in the city of Boston. So I'm glad to be involved, and thank you all very much for participating tonight. Thank you. It's my pleasure to introduce Mayor Martin Walsh, who will now speak. The mayor. The mayor really gives dignity and respect when someone says, I work for the city. He has great respect to all the city employees. We had a wonderful breakfast the other day, Mr. Mayor. It was great to be with you and all of the recipients to celebrate the Shattuck Awards. You can just feel the energy in this room, but it really is the energy throughout the city. I don't travel that much, but I asked Jay Hooley just a few minutes ago from State Street Bank, you travel a lot. Do you see what you see and feel here elsewhere? And he said, no, Bill, not really. You really don't see the energy and the vision that you see elsewhere, and it's because of the leadership we have in the city. Congratulations, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you very much, Bill. And I'll be honest, the reason why we have the energy in the city is because of the great people that work for the city, and many of you are in this room, so thank you very much. Let me just get a few of the thank yous out of the way. I want to thank Tom, our chairman, for the great work he's doing at the Bureau. Thank you, Tom. I wanted to give Sam Tyler a special shout out as well for the great work Sam does. Thank you, Sam, very much, and for hosting tonight. I want to thank all the directors on the board for your great work as well here at the Bureau, for the great things you do. I want to thank Billy Kennedy, my friend. I've known Billy for a long time. When I first got into politics 20 years ago, when I got elected to the House of Representatives, Billy Kennedy was one of the first people that I met. He was then Chief of Staff to the Speaker, and very good to me as a freshman representative. So I want to thank you, Billy, for that great work as well. So congratulations for doing tonight. Keith Motley, I want to just second what Billy said. I miss you at UMass Boston. You should still be there at UMass Boston. We love you, what you've done for that school. The vision of that school is your vision, I know that, and it took you to go to that school to get dormitories built, to get the General Academic 1 built, General Academic 2 built, and all the great things, and the parking garages going on, and for the programs over there. Thank you for everything you do. You will not be forgotten for that. And I also want to give a special mention. We have City Councilor Tim McCarthy's here. Thank you, Councilor McCarthy. He brought his sharing section down there, table number 41, I think. Way to go. So congratulations, and any other elected officials. If I didn't see, I apologize. We'll get you before the night's over, but thank you for coming as well. Tonight is incredible because we're recognizing great people. This is honestly one of my favorite events, and I don't come up to a podium and say that often, but this is one of my favorite events in the city throughout the course of the year, because it's a recognition of the great people who care deeply about our city, people who we can talk about. And I too was talking to Jay Hooligan, and I was saying to Jay that, many people don't get the credit they deserve, but tonight's a night where people can bring their families and friends, and I know there's a lot of former Shattuck winners here as well today, so I want to thank you as well. Some of you have gone on to do other things in the city, and it's important for us to recognize the great work that happens in city government and actually in the private sector as well, and I want to thank both the private sector recipients tonight. So thank you for your commitment, whether it's public, private, nonprofit. Thank you for what you do in our city. Today we have people that are working to make our neighborhoods better. Today we have people expanding opportunities in our city. Today we have people that are helping in our school systems and creating special environments in our schools with our BPS students. We have people in our police department working to make sure that they build trust in our neighborhoods. Thank you for that as well. We have people in our voting sites making sure that we have voting sites that are more accessible. We have people in the environment working to make sure that our environment is protected, and thank you for the great work you do. We have emergency management response team that's being represented tonight. Thank you for that as well. We have our veterans being represented tonight. Thank you for the service you do to our veterans. We have the Boston Planning and Development Agency. Thank you for representative there as well for what we're doing up in the Boston Planning and Development Agency. All of these different areas that we're talking about is changing the culture of our city. We are a 21st century city. We're a city that's attracting a lot of great businesses to our city. We're doing services better than ever before. And again, as was said, it's not because of the work that I do, it's the work that we do collectively. So to all the awardees tonight, congratulations. To your family members that are here, I hope you understand the importance of their value to the city of Boston and whatever it is they do for work. Their value means the world to me and to a lot of other people, whatever area it is, because it doesn't take one person to run a city. It takes 18,000, and these folks being recognized tonight are the cream of the crop. So again, thank you tonight and have a good night.
As the mayor said, the recipients of the awards, of the Shattuck Awards tonight, come from various city departments. And just so you know, the recipients have all been nominated by their bosses, by their co-workers, and then in the committee reviews all the applications, all the nominations, and we go through each one. And each year, I think the committee will agree, we learn more and more about the city. We didn't know about that department. We didn't know about that job. We didn't know what people do. And the Shattuck Awards recognize folks for doing a good job. But it's more than that. Have they gone the extra mile? Have they gone up and beyond the call of their job? And you read some letters that people submit on their behalf, and they're beautiful, beautiful letters about someone that went above the call of duty to help someone. And that's what these awards represent. And so congratulations to everybody. The first...
Yes.
To the recipients, when Keith and I call your name, would you please step forward, and then we're going to watch a video on each recipient. So,
Yes.
our first recipient, the Boston Redevelopment Authority. Boston Planning and Development Agency, of course, has a storied history in the city of Boston, going back when it was first founded in the late 50s, early 1960s. The slogan then was the New Boston, the New Boston. And we here in the city of Boston have reinvented ourselves all along the way, and that now is happening again. But the mayor, by changing the name of the agency, the emphasis on planning as well as development. And my firm, Nutter McLennan, has been down here in the Seaport for 17 years now. And we've been part of this explosion that is down here. And folks from the city know that this was vacant railroad yards and vacant places for many years. But now it is booming. And our first recipient, Heather Campazano, the Chief of Staff. The Chief of Staff to the Boston Planning and Development Agency is right in the middle of it, right in the middle, serving the city, serving the agency, and has worked her way up. Started as an intern, as you'll hear, and had various jobs, project manager, all along the way, and now, for the last several years, has served as Chief of Staff to the agency with Brian Golden and with all the other her colleagues in the agency. So it's my pleasure to present a Shattuck Award to Ms. Heather Campazano.
As Chief of Staff for the Boston Planning and Development Agency, Heather Campazano exemplifies a commitment to outstanding public service. Her competence, integrity, initiative, and leadership have served Boston well throughout the 16 years she has been with the agency. For the past 3 years as BPDA Chief of Staff, Heather has demonstrated extraordinary communication and organizational skills while guiding the successful implementation of needed reform. Heather began her career at BPDA as an intern from Providence College. Since then, she served as project manager, senior project manager, and deputy director of economic development before being appointed chief of staff for the Planning and Development Agency. As a result of having served in these positions within the agency, she has accrued an uncommon knowledge of the real estate review processes and policies for all development projects. Heather's leadership and service make her a truly deserving 2017 Shattuck Award recipient. Congratulations, Heather Campazano.
Will Sherry Lewis DuPont please join us on the stage? Sherry Lewis DuPont inspires Boston Latin students, faculty, staff, and parents with her commitment to educational excellence. I had the honor, and she doesn't even realize this, of witnessing her in the school, and she's an educational giant in action on a visit that I had to be at one of their assemblies. When I had the honor of speaking to the students at that assembly and watched them come through the hallways, and then was told that she was responsible for the 8th grade cohort. What an amazing thing. She has a passion for learning and sharing knowledge and firm discipline coupled with the experience gained from having been through the rigors of a Boston Latin education herself. Sherry Lewis DuPont is constantly demonstrating to the Boston Latin school community her belief in the positive impact of education on students' lives. She has the overall responsibility of just being an incredible human being. However, her integrity, initiative, leadership, and commitment allow her to be a positive role model for all she encounters in Boston Latin School and beyond. I am delighted to have the opportunity to introduce the person who's considered the heart and soul of Boston Latin School, Sherry Lewis DuPont, Boston Latin's Assistant Headmaster.
As Assistant Headmaster of Boston Latin School, Sherry Lewis DuPont is considered by many the heart and soul of this institution. As a student at Boston Latin School, Sherry became excited about the order and structure of the Latin language. Captivated by Roman history and its influence on civilization, she chose to major in the classics and later returned to BLS as a teacher and strong advocate of the value of classical education. Sherry stood out as a young teacher for her ability to help students appreciate the hard work and rigor BLS expects. Today, as an assistant headmaster, she continues to inspire students, faculty, staff, and parents with her commitment to educational excellence. Sherry's responsibilities as assistant headmaster include overall supervision of the 8th grade class, a challenge in any school. And in addition, Sherry's responsible for the BLS Junior Classical League. Congratulations, Sherry Lewis DuPont, for your selection as a 2017 Shattuck Award recipient. Thank you for making a difference in the lives of young Boston residents.
Our next recipient is Mr. Kerry Jordan. Kerry? Kerry is the TV Operations and Technology Manager for the Boston City Council. When you're watching the Boston cable channel and you're watching a city council hearing in the middle of the night when you can't sleep, recently that happened to me, and I turned it on, and there's Gina Fiandaca, the Commissioner of Transportation, testifying. Well, the man behind those productions, the man behind over the 2,000 televised meetings is Mr. Kerry Jordan. And when you look at how important access TV is for citizens to be able to watch its government in action, how important it is to our democracy and to know what's going on in the city, it's people like Kerry and his team at the Boston City Council that make it happen. So congratulations, Kerry.
TV Operations and Technology Manager for the Boston City Council, Kerry Jordan, plays a critical role in helping the City Council communicate with Boston residents. In his decade of working with the City Council, Kerry has been responsible for the production and broadcast of nearly 2,000 meetings and hearings. During this time, he has seen many changes in city government's needs for technology and has been instrumental in developing communication improvements within this office. In 2015, Kerry assumed responsibility for upgrading the council's entire video production equipment. He's added the responsibilities of IT computer technology support. He has also chosen to handle communication-related tasks such as social media posts, website updates, and overseeing other duties that ensure the smooth day-to-day operation of the City Council. Truly, Kerry Jordan embodies all the qualities of a dedicated city employee. Thank you, Kerry, for your commitment to excellence, and congratulations on your selection as a 2017 Shattuck Award recipient.
Now, Bill, I know they told me that we weren't allowed to do commercials tonight. However, I've known that young man. I've had a Saturday Academy for young men in this city since 1989, and I've known him since he's a little boy. And it's great to see the man that he's become. So thank you, Terry, for all that you do. Martin Kane, will you please come up here and join us on the stage? Welcome, welcome, welcome. He's also a gentleman who I have the opportunity to know. Now, you know that organizing the logistics for a citywide election cannot be easy, but Martin makes it look easy even when 255 electoral precincts throughout the city have to be ready to be on election day, right? He is a staunch believer in the importance of creating a positive experience for all who come to vote, and makes that happen through exceptional preparation of voting sites and unending support for poll workers, constantly sharing what he calls his pearls of wisdom with each and every one of them. That has led to tremendous customer service in polling places. It is with gratitude that I introduce Martin Kane, Director of Training for the Boston Election Department and a major contributor to our cherished democratic process.
As Director of Training for the Boston Election Department, Martin Kane is responsible for supervising the maintenance and integrity of Boston's voting list, the supply and management of voting locations, and the training of poll workers assigned to the 255 electoral precincts throughout the city. Martin is a staunch believer that a manageable voting experience is necessary for a functioning democracy. During his 30-plus years of service in the election department, he has trained over 100,000 workers and helped them better appreciate the significance of their role. Poll workers have come to respect Martin for his commitment to the voting process and his professionalism and initiative in creating informative training sessions. Wardens of each precinct are especially grateful for his pearls of wisdom that have taught them how to manage their individual voting place and how to lead a team of voting officers, poll workers, and election officials. Thank you, Martin, for your outstanding service, and congratulations on your selection as a 2017 Shattuck Award recipient.
Our next recipient is Sergeant Gino Provenzano. Sergeant Provenzano of the Boston Police Department is assigned to the Office of Field Services and is engaged in securing grants and funds to provide outreach to the community, whether it's youth, senior citizens, and families. We're fortunate in the city with the leadership of Commissioner Evans and the mayor and the command staff that part of the policing in the city is to be engaged with all of the citizens in every neighborhood of the city. And Sergeant Provenzano is instrumental in that outreach, in those good relations, and having those relationships that are helpful when necessary. So congratulations to Sergeant Gino Provenzano.
Sergeant Gino Provenzano in the Boston Police Department's Bureau of Field Services provides the face of all that's good about the Boston Police Department in his ability to relate to citizens. In 2010, Gino was assigned command of the District 4 Service Office. Currently, Gino manages numerous outreach programs and works with the Junior Police Academy, BPD's Pal to Pal program, the Boys and Girls Club of Dorchester, YMCA camps, and youth scholarship programs. Gino secures and manages grants providing funds for training and organization of programs. The Gun Buyback Program, Safe Biking Programs, and the Senior Service Program are a few of his achievements. Perhaps the most popular service Gino oversees is Operation Hoodsie Cup, which has grown from a small operation into one that hands out over 120,000 free Hoodsie Cups each summer. Last year, he even secured funds for a new truck. Congratulations, Sergeant Gino Provenzano, for your selection as a 2017 Shattuck Award recipient. Thank you for all you do for the quality of life for Boston citizens.
Would Deborah Pullen please come to the stage? Deborah. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you need someone to look challenges in the eye and foster incredible solutions, well, Deborah Pullen is that person. She is particularly efficient and creative, and the city of Boston is fortunate to have her providing the data and the reports necessary to support the talented employees like those that are here tonight that serve this great city. Her unique understanding of the school department's complex personnel management system, as well as the need of the school employee population, enabled her to ensure successful applications of human resource data to assure even greater management of the school personnel system. She has given 21 years of excellence and 21 years of innovation and leadership to the city and its employees. I am delighted to introduce Deborah Pullen, Director of Employee Information Systems, as a Shattuck Award recipient. Deborah, congratulations.
Deborah Pullen, Director of Information Management in the Boston Public Schools Office of Human Capital, began her career as a school secretary and staff assistant. Her organizational skills were quickly recognized, and she moved into the Office of Human Capital. Once there, she created the Bible, a comprehensive manual of the responsibilities of every position in the city school system. In 2015, Deborah represented the school department during an upgrade of the city's human resources management system, serving as the liaison between IT developers and human resource managers and presenting the complex IT needs of the school department. Returning to the BPS in 2016, Deborah was promoted to her current position, where she continues to be a true supporter of her fellow employees and the citizens of Boston. Congratulations on your 2017 Shattuck Award, Deborah. Thank you for your contributions to all city employees.
The next recipient is Ms. Maria Santos. Maria Santos has made significant contributions to the Boston Public Health Commission through her willingness to resolve difficulties for employees and those served by the Commission. As a strategic thinker and problem solver, Maria often considers unusual steps to resolve seemingly unsolvable problems. In her strong business and consumer-oriented services approach, inspire others to seek her guidance when a resolution is needed. In the debate today on healthcare, the debate about access to healthcare, disparities in healthcare are a large part of the debate. And Maria Santos, in her role at the Public Health Commission, sees that people have access to health care and are treated fairly. It's our pleasure to present a Shattuck Award to Ms. Maria Santos.
As procurement manager of the Boston Public Health Commission, Maria Santos makes certain that healthcare staff have all the supplies needed to effectively deliver service to Boston's most vulnerable residents. Taking it a step further, she's deeply committed to eliminating health disparities in the city. Since joining the Commission 12 years ago as part of the Racial and Ethnic Approaches to Community Health Grant, Maria has worked in finance, administration, case management, and training of staff and coalition members. Developing manuals and training programs on procurement, new hires, and effective workflow have made her everyone's go-to person for efficiency in consumer services. Maria is all about teamwork, bringing departments and community partners together in true dedication to Boston citizens. Congratulations, Maria Santos, for your selection as a 2017 Shattuck Award recipient. Thank you for all you do for Boston.
Barry Stafford, please come to the stage. Now, Barry told me that he and I were going to race up here today.
Where to buy us the beers?
And he said that I had to buy him the beer because he knew he was going to beat me up here. Now, outside of the Boston Fire Department, the work of the principal fire alarm operator may not be fully understood in the city. However, anyone who works with Barry Stafford knows he provides a vital lifeline to those on the ground during a fire. Barry Stafford's attention to detail saves lives. His ability to coordinate operations during a crisis while focusing on dozens of requests, and you know how requests can be, and knowledge of the fire situations that comes from long-term support, help him provide overall guidance while directing the distribution of crucial supplies and manpower. It is an extreme pleasure to introduce Barry Stafford, Principal Fire Alarm Operator, Boston Fire Department. My man.
Barry Stafford, Principal Fire Alarm Operator for the Boston Fire Department, is nicknamed Barrypedia for good reason. After 33 years on the job, he possesses an encyclopedic knowledge of the department's rules and history. Every shift, Barry monitors fire progression from taking the initial call through dispatch of responders, distribution of supplies and tools, and constant information to those on the ground. During the chaos of a fire, Barry inspires calm through his attention to detail and ability to multitask. He provides the guidance and knowledge of firefighting logistics that save lives. Barry is also a mentor and caring team builder. He's always laughing, frequently singing, and helping his team to remain positive in the face of grave situations. Thank you, Barry, for all you do to keep the BFD's first responders and all of Boston's citizens safe. This 2017 Shattuck Award is well deserved.
Right here to the middle. And I think you wanted to be.
I want to see the race.
No, you're not.
I ask Tom Samoluk, the chairman of the Research Bureau, and Mr. Henry Vitale of the Boston Water and Sewer to please come forward. We have an award that is not given out very often by the Bureau, called the Chairman's Award. And it's given to someone who truly demonstrates commitment to public service. Department heads are not eligible for the Shattuck Awards, or there may be a particular person who has done something outstanding. And this year, the committee thought about Henry Vitale, and Tom is going to introduce him. But this award really demonstrates his leadership of the Boston Water and Sewer Commission, and he really represents all of the employees at the commission. I was thinking about the reason we should give Henry this award, and I thought about getting up and brushing my teeth and turning on the faucet. I thought about putting the shower on. I thought about flushing the toilet. And I said, this is one important guy. And our water tastes good too. Our water tastes good too. Mr. Tom Samoluk.
I'm really honored to have the role of introducing Henry because I've actually been out to the offices on Harrison Ave, and I was fascinated by what they did. I came back to John Hancock. I was talking about it all day. They said, you really liked that visit? And I said, listen, you don't hear about them because they're doing the job each and every day, and Henry was so great. So a little about Henry. Since his arrival as executive director at the commission in 2014, Henry has been a major contributor to the commission's increased excellence. His outstanding commitment to creating unity and support among the 5 departments within the Boston Water and Sewer Commission has led to greater efficiency, and his selection for the Shattuck Chairman's Award for prudent management and inspired leadership. It is my pleasure to introduce the man responsible for the management of New England's largest and oldest water, sewer, and storm water systems, Henry Vitale.
The recipient of the Shattuck Chairman's Award for 2017 is Henry Vitale, Executive Director of the Boston Water and Sewer Commission. Henry takes pride in those who serve New England's oldest and largest water, sewer, and storm water systems. He is well trained for the complex duties of providing water and sewer services daily to more than 1 million people. Henry has implemented programs assuring citizens easy access for reporting difficulties, asking questions, or learning more about the Commission's services. Another example of Henry's commitment is the implementation of the Water Trailer, a tool for educating residents on water conservation and pollution prevention, which also supplies the community with clean, free water at city events. Under Henry's leadership, BWSC has become distinguished and deeply appreciated. The Massachusetts Department of Environmental Protection acknowledged the Commission with its regional recognition for outstanding performance and achievement and for consistency in delivering safe drinking water. Thank you, Henry Vitale, for your outstanding commitment to Boston. Congratulations on your selection to receive the 2017 Shattuck Chairman's Award.
You know you're welcome, man. I'm feeling kind of parched myself. I need a little water up here. So we're pleased tonight that so many former Shattuck recipients are here to celebrate the 2017 recipients. Let's have all of our past Shattuck Award, Chairman Award, and City Champion Award winners that are here in the room stand up so we can give them a round of applause. Yes. Yes. Congratulations again. Thank you for being here to support colleagues and friends. And so now we move into the part of our program where we honor our city champions. We're going to honor one who is a talented business leader, and one who's an incredible nonprofit leader. I have the honor of presenting the prestigious City Champion Award to Jay Hooley, who is the Chairman and Chief Executive Officer of State Street Corporation. Jay, come on up. Now, Jay is an inspirational leader who challenges colleagues to think big and move beyond the norms, and one way this can be measured is Jay's leadership strategy designed to digitize State Street's operations and become a digital leader in global financial services. But he did not stop there. Jay understands the opportunity to impact Boston from his leadership position and determined that he and State Street could also focus on education and workforce development, with an emphasis on helping urban youth develop skills that will lead to successful careers. Boston wins when leaders like Jay work together to invest in a network that will bring together the nonprofit sector and the business community to provide a pathway to opportunity by connecting 1,000 Boston public school students with educational systems of today that will lead to the jobs of tomorrow. Boston benefits when students, our future, receive educational and job placement support. Communities become more vibrant places to live. Businesses benefit from a talented and diverse workforce. Jay, thank you for your commitment to excellence and remaining steadfast in your effort to pave a pathway to excellence for the next generation of leaders. You are a champion. Jay.
Jay Hooley, Chairman and CEO of State Street Corporation, challenges people to think big and move beyond the obvious, both at work and in community service. Since taking on his current role in 2010, Jay has transformed the company to meet the future of finance head-on by strengthening its standing as a digital leader. In addition, Jay fulfilled his passion for working with underserved youth by creating the Boston Workforce Investment Network, or Boston Wins, a collaborative partnership between State Street and 5 nonprofits that provide linkages between the educational systems of today and the jobs of tomorrow. State Street has committed to investing $20 million in Boston Wins over 4 years and hiring 1,000 Boston public school students who work with one or more of the Wins partners. Boston Wins makes sure everyone wins: the students, their families, the citizens of Boston, and the business community as a whole. Thank you, Jay, for helping to make Boston a better place to live and work through your dedication to Boston youth. You truly are a deserving 2017 Shattuck City Champion. Congratulations.
Good evening. Boy, am I humbled. First time I've been to this event, and people told me that you'll be shocked. And as I listened to the presentations and the videos and the heroes that are before us here tonight, I'm left with one question. What am I doing here? The stories are awesome, and as Bill mentioned, you know, I have the great fortune to do a lot of things, but one of the things I do is I travel the world, and I've seen hundreds of cities. And believe me, we have one special place in Boston. This is one special city, made special. The folks that you heard feted tonight are just a sample of the people that make this city work day in and day out to help us raise families, get an education, have a career, all the things that are basic but so important to every one of us, basic human values. The mayor and I occasionally get together, and as we no doubt do, we talk about our jobs, and he asked me about my job, and I asked him about his job, and I always leave those meetings thinking, I got the much better deal, Mayor. You know, 24/7, 365 days a year, making the city work, dealing with the routine, dealing with the exceptional, We've had more than a few exceptions of late that they've had to deal with. And if you say, what's the secret sauce? What makes Boston so special? I think what makes Boston special is that 18,000 people that day in and day out do their jobs. As was mentioned, oftentimes nobody notices them because things work. But we have a full-service city that works efficiently. We have a leader, and I would say leaders that know how to lead. They're inspiring, they have a vision, they know where we're going. They work together across party lines to solve problems, to make the things that we do as individuals and as corporations, in my case, easy. We also have businesses that, I think State Street included, don't just do business, but feel committed to the city, feel an obligation to make sure that we leave the place better, that we help solve those problems, and we have a nonprofit sector that's bar none. We also have academia. So, you know, I feel blessed and fortunate to live in this city. I love this city. And I also feel blessed and fortunate to lead State Street, that's an organization that has forever had deep roots in the city and cared about it. State Street in 2017 celebrates its 225th anniversary. Now, I'll give you just a couple of fun facts. So 1792, there were 8 companies in the U.S., 8 public companies in the U.S. that were there in 1792. 1792 is the year the New York Stock Exchange was created, the post office was created, the mint. And guess, my favorite, guess who was president? You must know.
No.
Come on.
No.
George Washington. Okay, so we're old. But, and over those years, I'd say we've adjusted and adapted, and that's what you do to survive for 225 years. And along the way, we've developed a very global business. We're in 120 countries. All over the world. There's very few countries that we're not in. But at the end of the day, Boston is our home. It's where our roots are. It's where we're committed, and we'll always be committed to Boston. So I say from the bottom of my heart, I'm humbled. I want to thank everybody for the award. It means so much, particularly when contrasted against the heroes that we heard about earlier in the night. Thank you.
Pleasure to present the nonprofit City Champion Award to Ms. Patricia Foley of Save the Harbor, Save the Bay. Patricia? You know, Save the Harbor, Save the Bay, you know, is the name of the organization that Patty runs. And at one time, the livelihood of the harbor and in the bay were in jeopardy, and they were saved. Folks who grew up around here, around my age, have fond memories of swimming in the harbor in South Boston and Dorchester, at Malibu Beach, and going over to South Boston and to Castle Island and M Street Beach, and enjoying the summer, and that was our summer. But then there was a problem, and the water was not clean and was not safe. But then over the years, Mayor Walsh, then Representative Walsh in the State House, and his colleagues put significant funds in to bring back our beaches and to clean our water. The MWRA, of course, cleaned the harbor and cleaned our sewage. And so now we're able to enjoy our harbor and our beaches. And if you look out at the harbor during the day, you see how much activity is out there with commuter boats and pleasure boats and cruise boats. And you go by the beaches. This Sunday I drove through South Boston, and it was mobbed from state police, from Carson Beach, all the way down to L Street. Very diverse population using and enjoying the beach. This summer I spent some time at my old stomping ground of Malibu Beach on Morrissey Boulevard. And I sat there, and when I was a boy, I'll admit this now, the statute of limitations has run. I used to jump off the Malibu Bridge at high tide. Nothing can happen to me now, but those are fond memories. And I was talking to the mayor the other day, and he has them too. And Patty Foley in South Boston has them as well. And it's great. It's great to see. It's great to be able to use the harbor and in the bay, and the programs administered by Save the Harbor, Save the Bay, the Courageous Sailing Program over in Charlestown, the islands, to take boatloads of people, kids out to the islands. You're all invited to jump into the water in March down on M Street Beach and join Bruce Berman and Patty to lead the charge into the water right around St. Patrick's Day. But it's so much of a resource that people can use. So we're so thankful to Save the Harbor, Save the Bay, and we're so grateful for the leadership of Patty Foley. Thank you.
Boston's beautiful harbor and beaches have a true friend and ally in Patricia Foley. Joining Save the Harbor, Save the Bay in 2000, Patty recognized that bringing people to the harbor, islands, and beaches for fun, education, and recreation would create stewards of clean water. Appointed president in 2003, Patty felt the best way to save the harbor was to share the harbor. To accomplish this, she lobbied extensively for free programs that would connect residents to the environment. To make certain these programs remain free to all and are available to underserved families, Patty is a tireless fundraiser, knowing that folks who take advantage of the programs are the strongest supporters of keeping beaches and harbors clean. She maintains a network of colleagues and connections that are inspired by her passion to join this unique public-private partnership. Thank you, Patty Foley, for making Save the Harbor, Save the Bay into the region's leading voice for clean water and public investment in the harbor and beaches. Congratulations on being named a 2017 Shattuck City Champion.
Good evening. Thank you to Bill Kennedy, Keith Motley, and the Shattuck Awards Dinner Committee for honoring me and recognizing Save the Harbor, Save the Bay's contributions to our city and all its residents. And thanks to Sam Tyler and the Boston Municipal Research Bureau for the work that they do to strengthen our capital city. Thanks as well to Jay Hooley, Henry Vitale, and all the men and women honored here this evening. And thanks to all of you in this room for your commitment to our city and its success. There is no question in my mind that Boston is stronger today than ever before, thanks to your individual and institutional commitments. I'd like to thank retired Chief Justice Albert Kramer for the role he played in pointing me to career in public service. I served as a probation officer at Quincy District Court back in the 70s when Judge Kramer was the Chief Justice. I also want to thank the late, great Congressman Joe Moakley and U.S. District Court Judge A. David Mazzoni, and the men and women of the MWRA and the Boston Water and Sewer Commission for their commitment to clean water and to our community. For nearly half a century, Boston has been led by mayors who envisioned a world-class waterfront city, Mayor Marty Walsh and the Boston Planning and Development Agency have a bold vision for Boston's future. I'd like to thank the mayor, the city council, and the Boston legislative delegation for their support for Boston Harbor. I'd also like to thank House Speaker Bob DeLeo, Senate President Stan Rosenberg, and the legislative leaders and members of the Metropolitan Beaches Commission for their support for our advocacy on behalf of the metropolitan region's public beaches, from Nahant to Nantasket. Thanks to EEA Secretary Matt Beaton, to Governor Baker, and to Lieutenant Governor Polito for their support as well. My late mother and aunt, Patricia Powers Foley and Bridget Powers Holland, were two strong and capable Irish women. They were my earliest role models. My brother Tom, who's with us here this evening, my brother Michael, and our sister Lynn will always be grateful for their love and guidance. In my career in politics, government, and public service, I've been privileged to work for leaders like former Secretary of State John Kerry, whom I served in the Lieutenant Governor's office and in the United States Senate. Early in my career, I was also privileged to work for Paul Grogan, who made me a part of the LISC's leadership team as we worked to transform the community development movement into an industry that has strengthened American cities from coast to coast. Thanks, Paul, as well, for all you do to improve the quality of life of Bostonians from every neighborhood in the city. Finally, I'd like to thank Save the Harbor's Board of Directors and our Executive Committee for their leadership, guidance, and commitment. And of course, I want to thank my partner in crime, our board chair, Joe Newman of National Grid, who is smart, strategic, and simply the best. And then my partner in life, my husband, Bruce Berman, who has helped to lead Save the Harbor, Save the Bay for 30 years. He loves this city and the sea almost as much as he loves me. It's the truth. And of course, thanks to the Save the Harbor, Save the Bay staff, interns, I'm only as good as my team, and we have a tremendous team. I was born in South Boston. Yes, indeed. And learned to swim at the Girls L, which is now the BCYF Curly Recreation Center. And by the way, BCYF is one of our best and favorite community partners. Yes, yes, yes. And there are 122 other organizations and community groups that we're pals with as well, but we're especially fond of BCYF. As a young girl, the ocean and the beach were a source of joy to me, as they are today, as I tackle the challenges that come with my job, which is to restore, protect, and share Boston's extraordinary harbor with Bostonians from every neighborhood and the region's public residents and visitors alike. Rather than a policy speech or a fundraising pitch, I'd like to close with a short story about the work we do at Save the Harbor, Save the Bay. I became president in 2000 as Boston Harbor and Mass Bay began to recover from generations of neglect. Since then, Save the Harbor has invested and raised more than $10 million to connect our neighborhoods and nearly 200,000 youth and their families to the harbor we have worked so hard to restore and protect. I am particularly proud of the impact we have had on more than the 200 Boston High School students who have worked for us in our free youth environmental education programs. I'm proud that so many of them spend 2, 3, or even more summers working for us. And I'm honored and thrilled to keep in touch with them as they find jobs or go off to college. Each year, we invite them to bring their friends and families on our free fall cruises with Bay State Cruise Company, another tremendous partner of Save the Harbor, Save the Bay. On a recent trip, one of our summer staffers from Dorchester took a moment to thank me for inviting him on the cruise and introduced me to 8 members of his family who he had brought on the cruise. Here's what he said. "I wanted them to see why I love our harbor so much," he said with pride. "Thanks for teaching me that it belongs to all of us and helping me share it with them today." When we were founded in 1986, the thought that Boston's filthy harbor, our decaying waterfront, and neglected beaches would ever be seen as civic assets, it was a distant dream. Thanks for sharing our dreams about Boston Harbor and for helping to make them come true. Thanks also for honoring me in the organization that I've had the privilege to lead for nearly 20 years. Thank you. Thanks, everyone. You want to go home? I do too. Thank you. Thank you.
We have one more honoree, one more person to recognize. There is no name for this award, and it's really the first time it's ever been given. And it recognizes a person who has served the Bureau for over 30 years, I think it's 32 years. And we honor tonight Ms. Diane Smith. Diane?
Come on up here, Diane Smith. Come on up.
Diane retired in June after over 30 years for the Bureau. And this event was really something that she made into what it is today. And the recipients know that when they receive this award, the first call they get telling them is from Diane. And she stays with them all through the process until tonight. And she does it with such style and grace. And we say tonight to you, Diane, thank you. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts for all that you have done with Sam and the staff all these years to make this organization, and this evening particularly, but the organization, the great contributor to the city it is. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now, finally, Diane is the driving force behind the operational side of the Shattuck Awards. She's arranged the photo sessions. She has worked with Comcast on the videos. She's planned the receptions and the dinners. She's sweet-talked all of you to come out tonight. She's just incredible. So we honor you tonight, Diane.
You know, we like to think that the Shattuck Awards is a big event, and that's why for tonight we picked our two biggest directors to be the co-chairs. And then with Carrie's up here, I, for the first time, felt small, so. But anyway, this concludes our program for this year. Thank you all for being here, for supporting this effort, and congratulations to all the recipients. And I know the committee looks forward to going on to the next year. It's hard to believe we've been doing this for 32 years, but this is such a joyous, uplifting event that I think that's why we keep doing it, but it's also because the Research Bureau is in the trenches all the time with the city employees. We see firsthand how committed and dedicated most of the city employees are, and so this is important to be, of all organizations, I think, for the Research Bureau to be the group that independently, objectively selects the recipients and honors them as representatives of a much wider number of employees who are equally dedicated, but we can only do so many in a year. So thank you very much for being here. Hope you'll all be back next year.